are from Harlem, we love Harlem, we take care of Harlem. We also invite people to come into Harlem Haberdashery, where when you walk into our store, you walk into our family. I am Charene Wood, and welcome to Harlem Haberdashery. When you walk into Harlem Haberdashery, of course, you feel like you're coming into a home, and our brand aesthetic is to make someone feel like they're coming into a library of a brownstone. Our store is an intersection of fashion, fun, philanthropy. So we have our wall of fame in the front, which are Harlem historical figures, some family members. So we really wanted to celebrate people who made some really hard decisions and kind of contribute to who we are today. So we have accessories, we have t-shirts, we have something for everyone. We have things that make people feel like celebrities even though they are not celebrities. So everyone has their red carpet moments. We really wanted to position Harlem Haberdashery as a lifestyle brand, so we started small capsule collections of various different categories. And HH Bespoke Spirit is our newest capsule collection. We have a gin, a rum, and a vodka. So not only are we a retail store, but we also have a lot of pop-up events. We have a lot of community events. Our goal is to let Harlem Haberdashery position itself as kind of a community hub of retail, of community, of philanthropy, allowing other emerging designers to come and have pop-up shops. So we can be found on social media at Haberdashery NYC. Our website is harlemhaberdashery.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to My Harlem Portraits, the show that aims at shedding a light on the fundamental contribution that African Americans are giving to the building of this country and on Black excellence. To represent Black excellence today, we have an amazing guest, a businesswoman who everything that she touches turns to gold. Her name is Charene Wood. Welcome to My Harlem Portraits, Sharene.
Thank you. What a great introduction. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited you accepted to be here. So, because what you do in Harlem and generally, because this is international, is amazing. So you are the president and CEO of various businesses, not one, not two, various. So Harlem Haberdashery, bespoke boutique and lifestyle brand, 5001 Flavors, which is a custom clothing and design enterprise, Harlem Haberdashery bespoke spirits and beverages, curated spirits brand, and you added branded alkaline water very recently, and Wood Enterprises, which is a strategic brand consulting and business coaching enterprise.
Yes, you got them all. So I am always happy to call myself a serial entrepreneur. I started my first and main business, 5001 Flavors, in 1992 with my business partner and husband, Guy Wood. Primarily started as a styling and wardrobe company that literally branched into more custom clothing because the clothing that we needed for our artists and entertainer clients were not available in the marketplace. So early 1992, we started. I am happy to report this year, 2022, we are celebrating our 30th year as 5001 Flavors. So I'm super excited about, reaching that milestone.
But that's an amazing milestone. 30 years.
I can't even believe
anywhere in the world is a milestone.
So we started 5001. I was a junior at Columbia University. I really did not know that it would grow into the great brand that is now. Our goal really was to bridge the gap between fashion. There was a lot of artists that were, making a lot of videos, and then videos really became more important, and they started really telling these really fantastic stories. And so we worked with each artist or personality to help brand their look. I was always the administrative organizational guy, was much more of the fashion creative. And so it was something that literally grew from one client to 5 to 10 to 15. And it really was a referral based business. We work with all of the artists, the who's who in entertainment. So you can think Heavy D, P. Diddy, Biggie Smalls, all the way to now DJ Khaled, Daddy Yankee, Lady Gaga.
Wow.
So we've worked with the who's who in sports, artists, entertainers, movies, small screen, big screen, red carpet. And now we are even multi-generational because some of our clients now have kids who are their own personalities and their own personas. So now we have multi-generational. So 5001 still exists. We still have a budding, growing business. More personalities identify themselves each day. About 20 years ago, we were just kind of thinking about how can we expand the brand, knowing that 5001 is very exclusive to artists and entertainers, and had conceived a retail store. Harlem Haberdashery was born. And I would say we are also proud this year to be celebrating our 10th anniversary as Harlem Haberdashery. Harlem Haberdashery was a way for us to create a lifestyle brand that adhered to the same need for people to have statement pieces. So we say at our boutique, which is located at 245 Lenox Avenue between 122nd and 123rd, that we cater to people who are not celebrities, but have their own red carpet moment. So this year is our 10th anniversary as Harlem Haberdashery. And since we knew we were a lifestyle brand, we really wanted to expand from just beyond retail. We wanted to include home, other categories that would have the same brand aesthetic as Harlem Haberdashery. And thus, HH Bespoke Spirits was born, which is a brand extension of Harlem Haberdashery, which itself is a brand extension of 5001. But HH Bespoke.
I'm going to stop you there because otherwise you're going to tell me everything. And I want you to go more in depth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't want to run over it. We have enough time. I want you to go in depth of what.
I love it. I love it. Let's get it on.
So one thing I wanted to say before we go back to your businesses is that you received in March a very beautiful award.
Yes.
By Women in the Black. And that's how we met.
Yes.
Because I've always seen your boutique and so on, but I never met you. We never met. And when I heard everything that you had done, that's when I said, we must interview her because you are the example, the reason why I started this show.
Oh,
exactly.
Well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So yes, I was so honored to receive that award, the Epitome Award from Women in Black. It's a great organization, but what the award represented to me was the perseverance of entrepreneurs plowing through the pandemic, staying in business, but not only that, thriving. And that was something that honestly, the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, I did not know that I would be able to do. Everyone likes to use the word pivot. Everyone pivoted during the pandemic, but I panicked. And I'm sure every entrepreneur and individual, because what was this? What does this mean? How do you move? How do you stay in your house and still, move in the business world? And so it was a very difficult 2 years. But I think COVID gave me a lot of opportunity to sit and plan and be still and pivot, because that's what I had to do. That's what any business owner had to do to stay relevant, to stay in business and come out of the pandemic.
And how did you do that? Because you really created some incredible, like the water, I think you just created during the pandemic.
So we started out, I personally started out in March 2020, almost really just starting my year, because my mom unfortunately had a medical emergency, and the whole first 3 months I wasn't really working. So my goal was to really hit the ground running in March and implement all of these great strategic things that I had worked out. And then COVID said no. And so it was a break in my entrepreneur routine. It was a break in life, but it really let me see that the path that I was going on was not sustainable. And so I really had to make some choices about how I was going to become sustainable through the pandemic. We had concentrated so much at Harlem Haberdashery as a retail space and brick and mortar for people coming in, and not had really built up that a robust e-commerce platform. And so that was something I was like, oh, I can do later. Oh, it's a lot of time. I'm counting on, people coming in and my employees pressing these buttons to make profit. And really at that point, people realized that brick and mortar was not really great because people couldn't come in. And so click and order is a new sales channel that I had to embrace. So I had to build up that e-commerce site. I had to get my products, photographed. I had to set up the inventory. I had to do all of the stuff that I had not done before because I was so fixated on the brick and mortar traffic. And so we built up an e-commerce platform. We had a very skeleton form of it, but I had to build it up. I had to put product on it, had to, figure out the shipping and the logistics, which were a little bit delayed because of COVID, but that at least allowed business to continue. In addition, right before that, I started talking about HH Bespoke Spirit. We started that in 2018. So we had already had a curated, I actually have it here. We actually had a rum, a gin, and a vodka, thank you, that was already in the marketplace and being distributed. So we were able to concentrate on the e-delivery of those products. We realized that a lot of people, don't drink spirits. And so water was one of the things that everyone drinks. And so HH Bespoke Spirit during the pandemic evolved into Beverages. And so now we have a branded alkaline water product, Bespoke Water.
Fantastic.
And so we were excited now to have people who drink all of our beverages in our portfolio to be able to support. So that expansion during the time when a lot of people were struggling was important to me because I didn't want to ever be in that position I was pre-COVID, where I was relying on one revenue stream, one category. And for me and other business owners, I think thriving comes out of increasing your reach and increasing your revenue streams. And so that's what I think all of the women that got the award did. They did not rely on one location, one stream of income. And I think you have to learn how to diversify. And I think we did an excellent job at that.
And this shows that there is one thing that this pandemic was positive for, the only one, I think, and is that it really pushed people to become creative and to find new ways, and gave the time to you, for example, to expand in that sector and in that branch that you didn't have the time to do before because you were too busy being in the boutique and running back and forth. Whereas now we were at home, we had to do something, and you find great. Like, for example, I used to do my interviews in the studios. The studio was closed. So I was panicking. I was thinking, what am I going to do? I can't stay without doing anything. I'm going crazy. And then I learned to do on Zoom.
Right. So it's about, for me, I guess, thriving during a pandemic was about embracing new technology. It was about thinking outside the box. It was about doing the same thing differently, if that makes any sense. It was about opening new doors, new opportunities, expanding your sales channel, and also with e-commerce, expanding your customer base. And so now the digital marketplace is an international way for you to reach customers. It actually increases your customer tenfold. But you have to be able to understand the logistics of shipping, packing. Those are just things that you have to master, and then you're on.
And that I believe that we will never go back to the way it was before. The e-commerce, which already existed, but it wasn't so expanded. Now it's everywhere. I mean, I see in Italy, for example, sorry, my sister lives in a small village on the Riviera, on the Italian Riviera. She moved there. And my mom lives in the summer house on the Italian Riviera. And before, that wasn't possible to receive stuff online because you have to have a specific address with a doorman and so on, and they live in houses and so on the hill. Now everything has expanded, and they have specific places where you can get your stuff.
I love it.
Amazon and so on. So really, this is a commerce that is here to stay.
Yes, I think all businesses, big and small, had to adapt to that. And I told a few entrepreneurs, during lots of calls that we all had, that if you're waiting for the old normal to come back, you're not going to thrive. And a lot of people were like, I just can't wait till we open back up. And I said, listen, that those sales channels are closed. That way of operating didn't work for customer or business. You have to evolve. If you're waiting for the old normal, you're not gonna thrive. And so a lot of people really had to change the type of entrepreneur they were, the type of shopper they were. So it wasn't just businesses, consumers had to change their buying patterns, and you have to allow that shipping time for what you want. I personally love the digital marketplace. I love working from home. It cut down on expense. It cut down on time. And as a working mom and entrepreneur with a business in another state, it gives me 3 more hours a day. I miss the social interaction, but I love that I've become more efficient and able to immediately start working, and I lose an hour commuting time, there and back. And so I'm more efficient on what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel the same. And also for big businesses and all the offices in Midtown that are closed. I mean, the mayor said, go back, but
Right.
I don't think everybody's gonna go back. Businesses are realizing they're gonna cut costs by not having those.
And so for me as a business owner, paying for those expenses, they were still due, rent was still due, even though no one was in the store. And so now companies are starting to evaluate, is that overhead worth it? Because if I can get half of my employees to work from home and another half to come in, because a lot of people are alternating on A, B, C, D, or even E and F days, where certain select employees come in, because now there are COVID restrictions about the amount of occupancy in a lot of different businesses. So there's a lot of compliance that business owners had to do in order to even be open. You have to have limited hours. You have to have, less employees and less customers in your place. And for every entrepreneur, that's less profit. If I have less people coming in, I have less traffic, I have less profits. And so you have to think about all those things. A COVID compliance means less profit. So now you have to think, how can I make up that difference? Because most businesses will operate at a certain percentage and needed to be at that or above to come back for COVID. So we can't have less traffic and less money. We need to diversify revenue streams.
And you are not only doing that, you're not only looking at profit, but you're also able to help others, especially during the pandemic, providing a place for emerging designers, creatives, entrepreneurs, and other community organizations that they don't have their own location. Now you're also allowing them to have pop-ups and events at Harlem Haberdashery. Tell us, for example, about some of these events that you're going to have soon.
So we've always had really cool pop-ups at Harlem Haberdashery. We like to share our beautiful brick and mortar. A lot of entrepreneurs, and especially during the pandemic, a lot of entrepreneurs identified themselves and they just have a digital space. But sometimes people do kind of like to touch and feel and come. And so our pop-ups allow emerging designers that don't have their own brick and mortar a place to kind of house their brand for a day or two pop up, so that their consumers can either do pop-up curbside pickups or come and actually see the products. Sometimes people need to see the products before they're able to, purchase it or want to purchase it. And so even though we have pop-ups before, we absolutely had a lot of pop-ups that involved curbside pickups where people can come and save on shipping costs. Or some first-time entrepreneurs who did not even exist now have an opportunity at least to show some of their wares in our cool, Harlem Haberdashery setting. And so those have been very successful. We've had a number of pop-ups, anywhere from clothing to service to makeup. We've had a lot of different types of pop-ups at Harlem Haberdashery, and we rent out the store in conjunction with other brands. It allows them a really cool place to have photos taking, to have people do curbside picking or drop off. So we've had a great run of pop-ups, and we will continue to do so.
And it's a beautiful space and perfect space for that. Really.
Thank you.
Amazing. Tell me about the Take Care of Harlem nonprofit that you have created and is doing incredible projects. And I love it. But
Well,
tell us
thank
about
you.
it. It's very diversified.
So not only are we committed to running successful for-profit businesses, which are really important, we're family run, we believe in taking care of the community. And so Take Care of Harlem was actually founded by my brother, Kels Barnett, maybe about 7 years ago. We're coming up on our 10th anniversary soon. And it was an attempt to really give back to Harlem. And we have varied, we call them hashtag movements throughout the year. It's like every 3 months, we have different hashtag movements. And our goal really is to involve the community, our community members, fans and followers of our boutique and different brands of the first family of fashion to really give back to Harlem and pay homage to the different strategic relationships we have with different organizations. Coming up soon in April, during Earth Day, we will be working with the League, which is another philanthropic arm of Harlem Haberdashery. But Take Care of Harlem will be working with the League to have Greener Linux, which is our community sustainability project. It's a great way for us to kind of get outside and make the community look as good as we hope we're making everyone look with our clothing. The League has adopted the trees from 116th to 125th. And so our goal, yes,
116.
Yes, the goal is to help maintain the flower beds, to clean. There's a lot of trash, a lot of people driving. So we collect, oh my gosh, bags of trash in conjunction with, the park department and MMPCIA and other local businesses to help our community look as good as we hope everyone feels. And so it's important to us because, we can't have trash all over Lenox Avenue, but people stepping over that to come into our beautiful boutique. So it really is about rallying the community to help us. But community beautification, green is definitely, where that project is rooted in. We have a lot of other great initiatives coming up in the summer with Take Care of Harlem. We have Cool for School, which is our school supply giveaway. We have a toy drive. But more importantly, this year, we have 2 murals through our Art Lives in Harlem. These are all hashtag movements. And we have 2 beautiful murals that Take Care of Harlem in conjunction with other partners, including Harlem Haberdashery, commissioned. And our goal really was to bring public art in support of different schools. So we have at the Sojourner Truth School on 117th, between 5th and Lenox. We have a beautiful mural, Take Care of Harlem mural, and also at the John B. Russworm School on 135th and 5th, we have a wonderful mural where our Black kids are dressed as superheroes. So everyone loves that. And our goal really is to work with the schools, multi-year, multi-project, like we give back to those schools for the school supply drive and other things. So it really is to foster a relationship that, we're paying homage to Harlem and what Harlem meant to us as young people, because we're from Harlem, and giving back to the next generation of Harlem. And so Take Care of Harlem is really committed to working with organizations that represent the, youth preservation
community. Those murals, I didn't know you were supporting them. You said you asked for them, and I didn't know. I've been taking pictures of those murals because they are so amazing. And
I love it.
Go to Marcus Garvey Park and I go to Lenox and so on. I see these murals, and the superhero, I just saw it the other day. I thought, wow, this is amazing. Yeah,
Yes. And so for us, that's important because we always say representation matters.
yes,
And so the murals are superheroes, but they're all brown and Black kids. And so it's important for the kids in the school to see themselves represented. We love public art. And so we are committed through Art Lives in Harlem, through Take Care of Harlem, to have a few more murals.
fantastic.
So we're always looking for partners, strategic financial partners to help, because it's something is an expense. But it really is great to see the kids enjoy it and to get the feedback from the community, because then it becomes a community love project, not just for the children.
And you're beautifying the community, and you're giving jobs to artists in the community. So that's amazing. I think we are at the end of our show. But
wow, that was quick.
I know. When it's interesting, when you talk about interesting stuff, it goes so fast. Tell me about the Derby also, the event of the Derby that you're going to.
Yes. So hopefully everyone can stop by Harlem Haberdashery at 245 Lenox between 122nd and 123rd. Saturday, May the 7th is our 10th anniversary as Harlem Haberdashery. And we always have a really fun and fantastic and fashionably dressed Kentucky Derby party. So come get your HH Bespoke spirits and get some mint juleps by our other sponsor, Maker's Mark. So I'm really excited. This is our first event in like 2 years because COVID has kept the fun away, but we are back, and the First Family of Fashion cannot wait to celebrate with everyone.
Fantastic. And I'm going to support you by trying to be there at all this event and represent with my TV show.
I love it. I would love to see you again, Maria. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for being with us, and thank you for sharing all you did with the viewers of My Harlem Portraits. See you soon. Bye-bye, and thank you again.